right, so let's get to your team this year a little bit. And again, a lot of roster turnover. You're no different than a lot of other teams, but man, it's hard to keep up, right? You got transfers, leaving, transfers coming in, good players coming back. But I think let's start with the two reclassified freshmen, because they're what has put you in a spotlight right now that everybody is going to look at you. And I think I had you in the top 25-ish prior to them arriving. But Jalen Duren and Emoni Bates can be difference makers. Let's start with Emoni and his role. I saw him play a lot at the PTM. I talked to him for a long period of time. And the first thing I want to say is I think he gets a bad rap in terms of how people maybe view and talk about him. He is a sweet kid. He's shy. He's quiet. And he is talented, Penny.
I think they just to speak on that, they take his competitive edge and they use it to be more of an entitlement phase, a prima donna phase, a guy that's cocky. He's very confident in who he is, and he wants to compete at the highest level. And the way he expresses himself, it bothers some people, but that's just who he is. He's not trying to disrespect anyone. He's trying to say, hey, I'm here to fight. I'm here to compete on every single night. Now, the way that he's played in the past, where he's had to be the majority scorer, and people see him taking a lot of shots and all that, they think that he doesn't want to play with better players, that it all has to be about him. And when I finally started talking to him and building a relationship, I learned very quickly that that's what he wanted to. He wanted to get rid of that image that people had of him. He wants to play with better players, and he wants to be a part of a team. And getting him here, I understood that about him. He wants to be the guy that be the team first guy. He wants to be the guy that averages 6 to 8 assists. He wants to be the guy that wins all the scoring and everything. He's done that in his career at the early age. And he's only 17 years old. And you think he was 30 years old by the way that people have, put him in the spot over all these years. And it's been unfair. He has admitted to some immaturity in some phases of his career, but it was so much pressure. He was just trying to get the pressure off of him. But as far as an unbelievable player, showing leadership through his hard work, being a great teammate since he stepped on campus, it's been a blessing to have him here.
So when I saw him 2 years ago, it was just score. That's all I saw from him. This past summer, and I said this to him, the thing that really blew me away was his court vision and his ability to pass. Now, he's still a scorer at his core.
Yeah, for
no
sure.
doubt about it. But he's got some of that, and who better to learn the point guard spot and how to do everything than you. So how much do you envision playing him at the point this year? How will you use him?
Yeah, I will play him at the point a lot. Obviously, smaller guards are going to try to get under him. But he's going to, by the time season starts, he's going to know because we have fantastic guards that get up and pressure him. And he's actually game mode already right now in practice because of Tyler Harris, because of Alex Lomax, and because of those guys that can get up and pressure. So he's learning on the fly, but I'll play him at the point guard a lot. But the one thing that he doesn't get credit enough is the vision, the passes that he's made already in practice. Man, when he has the talent around him, he looks special. It looks very good.
Yeah.
Things that people probably hadn't seen him do on the previous teams that he's been on, he's doing that now. But he's always had that. You can tell that doesn't happen overnight.
Right.
He's always had that. He's always kind of pretty much had the mindset, I got to do what I got to do. If I got to go get 40 or 50 for us to win, I got to do that. Now I know I don't have to get 20, 30, 40, 50 every night. I got a better cast. Yep. He's learning how to use this guys, kind of liking it to how LeBron did when he first went to Miami, when he had Ray Allen, Mike Miller, Shane Battier, and all those guys around. And D Wade, he's learned how to utilize playing with Chris Bosh and all those guys. That's what Emoni's doing right now and loving it.
So he goes with Jalen Duren, who he played with in the summer, and they've got a good friendship. I was able to see that in Augusta. So that probably makes them both more comfortable coming to Memphis. But Jalen is a 6'9" man-child. I mean, he's just big, strong, athletic, tough, all of it. The one thing he's not, Penny, or I didn't see it as much, is super skilled. But my guess is Rasheed is going to work with him on that all day, every day to kind of expand that game and be able to step out and shoot it from the perimeter. Describe Jalen's game and kind of, again, how you foresee him fitting in with you.
The great thing about Jalen's game is He is who he is. He knows who he is. He doesn't even apologize for knowing that he's a rim runner.
Really?
That he catches lobs, that he rim protects, that he sets great screens, he sprints in the screens. That's great. But what he also knows is that I want my game to evolve. He wants to be a higher skilled player with the ball in his hands. He wants to be able to stretch it out to the NBA three. He wants to be able to, which we're going to have him doing, flash to the mid post and play out of it like the Princeton set, like the Joker does, Jokic does in Denver. You know, he can do all. He's a great passer, has a high IQ. So to me, he's a guy that doesn't have an identity crisis. Whatever any team that wants him to do, he's going to do it to the best of his ability. He's going to understand that this is what's going to help us win. And he's willing to do whatever it takes. And both kids are very coachable.
They are. I mean, you could tell. Like, that's one of the things that, again, blew me away about both of them and was lost with Emoni. Like, the biggest, and I told him this, the biggest, the time when I was the most impressed with him was when he was on the bench with Team Final. And he was the first one up, yelling, screaming, congratulating dudes, just happy for his teammates. Because, again, people had this kind of perception of him that it was all about him. And I don't think that's accurate. I really don't. I think that's completely inaccurate. And I think that was one of the ways that that he showed it. Now you just got to get him to defend consistently.
Yes, that's the one thing that he said as well. Well, that's another thing that he said. He said, Coach, I'm not a great defender. I want to be the best. I want to be a great two-way player. I know my weaknesses. I know where I'm at. And he said, I need you to challenge me every day on that. I said, you don't have to worry. I'm going to challenge. He wants it.
Yeah.
So he knows his weaknesses. He's admitted it to me. And he's like, hey, I'm not terrible, but I'm not where I need to be for what I can bring offensively. I want to match both sides.
Yep.
I want to mirror one another. And I told him it's going to take hard work. It's going to take a lot of hard work because now you have to exert a ton of energy on defense.
Right.
How much energy you're going to have on the offensive end now when everything was pretty much on one side of the ball.
Yes.
But he's ready for that challenge.